Imagine holding in your hands a small silver coin, not much bigger than a fingertip. At first glance, it looks ordinary, like something you might find at the bottom of an old drawer or tucked away in a forgotten jar. But here's the shocker. This tiny piece of metal has the power to change your life overnight. I'm not talking about a few $100s or even a couple of thousand. I'm talking about a hidden treasure worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yes, you heard me right. In today's video, we're diving deep into the world of Mercury Dimes, coins so rare, so mysterious, and so powerful in the auction market that their value skyrockets day by day. Collectors across the United States and beyond are battling, competing, and paying jaw-dropping amounts to secure these treasures, because they know one truth. Owning one of these coins is like owning history itself, sealed in silver. Stay tuned till the very end, because today I'm revealing the top 10 ultra-rare and most valuable Mercury Dimes ever discovered. And when you hear the staggering value of the final coin, your heart will race with disbelief. You're watching True Coin Value, the most trustful, faithful, and updated channel for rare coins, where every single day I bring you newly discovered facts and shocking treasures straight from the auction market. Now, let's begin this treasure hunt with coin number 1. Coin number 1. When we talk about legends in coin history, the 1927 Mercury dime without a mint mark takes a crown that few others can rival. Struck in Philadelphia, this coin emerged during a time when America was roaring with energy, jazz music echoing in the streets, new technology reshaping daily lives, and the nation moving toward the height of the roaring 20s. In the midst of this energy, the Mercury dime quietly carried the essence of that golden era, a coin crafted not just as currency, but as a piece of art. The design is extraordinary. On the front, we see liberty, crowned with wings of freedom, symbolizing thought, progress, and vision. The back holds a Roman fasces, wrapped with olive branches, a perfect blend of strength and peace. This design alone makes the Mercury dime one of the most beautiful silver coins America has ever produced. But the 1927 without mint mark takes beauty into rarity territory. What makes it unique is the absence of the mint mark. While coins from Denver or San Francisco in that year carried a D or S, the Philadelphia strikes had no mark at all. And among those, very few survived in stunning condition. Decades of circulation wore most of them down, leaving collectors with only a tiny handful of specimens today that shine in very good or better condition. The composition itself is special, 90% silver and 10% copper. That high silver content already gives it intrinsic value, but it's the rarity and demand that transforms it from precious metal into a treasure chest in your palm. Collectors know this coin is a dream piece. When it appears at auctions, it sparks bidding wars filled with suspense. Everyone wants it, but only one person walks away with it. And that is where the magic lies. This is not just a coin. It's a symbol of fortune, a ticket into the elite world of numismatics, where history and wealth collide. Now here's where the shock truly hits. The current market value of this single coin in very good condition is standing at a staggering $175,000. Yes, you heard correctly, $175,000. Imagine what that means. That's not a coin, that's a treasure vault sealed into silver. This value is no exaggeration. It is real, faithful, and backed by today's auction market. And here's the truth. The price is climbing. Each year, as more collectors enter the market, and as fewer specimens remain in such quality, the value ticks higher. Owning this coin is like holding a time bomb of wealth. It will only explode higher in value with time. For collectors, my advice is this. If you ever come across a 1927 Mercury dime without a mint mark, never underestimate it. Authenticate it, grade it, and protect it. This is the kind of coin that defines collections, that elevates you from a hobbyist into a serious investor of history. Treasure it like gold, because it is far rarer, far more exciting, and far more powerful than most people can even imagine. To conclude coin number 1, this 1927 dime is not just a coin, it is a life-changing artifact. It holds history, it holds silver, it holds the story of America in the roaring 20s, and it holds the power of a 6-figure fortune. That's why collectors treat it as if they're holding a piece of eternity itself. And this is only the beginning of our journey. Stay tuned, because the next coins will push the limits of belief even further. Next up, as we move deeper into this journey of silver legends, the second treasure waiting in our spotlight is the 1939 Mercury dime without a mint mark. At first glance, it might seem like just another coin from the late 30s, but don't be fooled. Beneath its silver surface lies a story of resilience, hidden rarity, and shocking value that makes it one of the most sought-after Mercury dimes in existence. Picture the year 1939. The world was standing on the edge of history, Europe trembling under the threat of war, America cautiously watching from across the ocean. The United States Mint, meanwhile, was striking coins as it always had, feeding the everyday economy. But the 1939 Mercury dime without a mint mark was no ordinary production. It came from Philadelphia, and as tradition demanded, Philadelphia coins carried no identifying mark. Yet what makes this particular year so extraordinary is not just where it was made, but how few have survived in the quality collector's dream of today. The artistry of this coin still speaks volumes. The obverse shows Liberty with her winged cap, a powerful symbol of freedom, innovation, and progress. The reverse, with its facets bound by olive branches, reflects both strength and peace. By 1939, the Mercury dime had already earned its place as one of the most beautiful coins America had ever created. But beauty is only half the story. Rarity tells the rest. What sets this 1939 no-mint dime apart is the way time has marked it. Many examples today show wear, scratches, or have been lost entirely to circulation. But finding one in very fine condition, even with natural aging marks like brown spots, is a collector's dream come true. Those spots, rather than diminishing its appeal, actually remind us of the decades it has survived, passing from hand to hand during the Great Depression, traveling through the 1930s economy, carrying with it silent stories of families, markets, and history itself. Collectors across the US know that coins like this don't just appear in pockets anymore. They surface at auctions, whispered about among elite collectors, and when they do, they command attention instantly. The demand is fierce because the supply is vanishingly small. The absence of a mint mark makes it historically tied to Philadelphia, but the condition, the survival, and the charm of this coin make it a crown jewel. And here's the breathtaking moment. The current auction market has placed this coin's value at an astonishing $117,500. Yes, you heard it right. $170,500 for a dime that once carried the value of 10 cents. This is not fiction. This is the truth backed by today's live market, and this is no ordinary asset. This is wealth hidden in silver, a treasure disguised as a coin, and a fortune that collectors fight to the very last bid to obtain. And let me be absolutely clear, this value isn't standing still. It is climbing. With each passing year, as more collectors wake up to the truth of Mercury dimes, and as fewer pristine examples come forward, the price keeps pushing higher. Owning this coin isn't just about pride, it's about holding a treasure chest whose locks keep filling with more gold over time. My advice to collectors is this. If fate ever places a 1939 Mercury dime without a mint mark into your hands, never let it slip away. Authenticate it, grade it, and protect it like it's a piece of your soul. This coin is not merely currency, it is a bridge to history, an anchor to America's story, and a vault of wealth in disguise. To conclude this second masterpiece in our list, the 1939 no-mint dime is a breathtaking combination of rarity, artistry, and unstoppable demand. Its six-figure market value is not a lucky break, it is destiny. And as long as collectors chase treasures, this coin will remain at the very top of the mountain. Next up, as we turn to coin number 3, prepare yourself for another breathtaking journey into the world of silver legends. This time, our story takes us straight into the heart of World War II, 1943, a year when America was at the height of sacrifice, courage, and unstoppable determination. Factories roared day and night, soldiers marched across continents, and the spirit of freedom burned brighter than ever. And hidden within that era of history is one of the most astonishing treasures the coin world has ever known. The 1943 Mercury dime with the Denver D mint mark. The design itself carries the weight of symbolism. Liberty with her winged cap, the eternal emblem of free thought, rises on the obverse, while the reverse displays the fasces, a bundle of strength paired with the olive branch of peace. In 1943, this imagery was more than just decoration. It was a message to the American people and to the world. Strength, unity, and peace would triumph even in the darkest times. But here's where things get truly fascinating. The 1943 Mercury dime was struck in massive numbers during the war, yet very few were preserved in the condition that collectors dream about today. Most were spent in daily transactions, worn down in pockets, or melted over time. Yet among those millions, the Denver minted specimens stand out in stunning rarity, especially those surviving in extra-fine condition. And the one we're talking about today goes even further. It bears a natural brown shade, a unique aging characteristic that makes it not a flaw, but a signature of authenticity, a reminder that this coin has lived through decades of real history. Collectors understand the gravity of this. This isn't just another Mercury dime, it's one of the war year masterpieces, a relic that carries with it both patriotic symbolism and numismatic prestige. The Denver mint mark, the condition, and the preservation of detail on the surfaces make this 1943 D Mercury dime a coin of almost mythical status. When coins like this surface in the market, they don't just sit quietly on a table. They ignite a storm. Collectors recognize the rarity immediately, and the bidding war begins, driven by passion, competition, and the knowledge that treasures like this do not come twice in a lifetime. And here comes the thunder. The current market value of this extraordinary coin is an awe-inspiring $168,000. Yes, $168,000 for a single dime minted in the year of war. That is not speculation. That is the present truth of the auction market. And let me tell you this, its value is climbing with unstoppable momentum. Each year, as demand grows and pristine examples vanish, the price pushes higher. Owning this coin is like holding a time capsule of history that also functions as a treasure chest of wealth. For collectors, my tip is simple yet crucial. If you ever encounter a 1943 Mercury dime with a D mint mark, do not take it lightly. Have it authenticated, graded, and placed in secure protection. This coin is not just silver, it is heritage, It is wealth, and it is legacy rolled into one. Protect it like you would protect a crown jewel, because that is exactly what it is in the world of numismatics. Next up, our treasure hunt now takes us back to the mid-1930s, a decade defined by both hardship and resilience. America was slowly recovering from the Great Depression, and every coin struck in those years carried with it the silent story of struggle, survival, and hope. And among those coins, one stands above the rest as a symbol of fortune disguised in silver, the 1936 Mercury Dime with the San Francisco S mint mark. The year 1936 was pivotal. The country was witnessing signs of recovery, the economy was beginning to breathe again, and yet millions of people still held onto every dime like it was lifeblood. In this era of scarcity, the Mercury Dime wasn't just pocket change. It was a tool of survival, feeding families and fueling the markets of the day. Yet while most of these coins disappeared into the daily grind of circulation, the San Francisco Mint produced a limited quantity that would one day become treasures of history. The artistry of this coin remains breathtaking. Liberty's portrait, crowned with wings of thought and freedom, still shines with the brilliance of Adolf Weinmann's design. On the reverse, the fasces paired with the olive branch continues to speak of both power and peace, a message the nation dearly needed in those uncertain years. This combination of art and symbolism is what makes the Mercury Dime one of the most admired U.S. coins ever minted. But the 1936 S takes that admiration into another realm: rarity. The S mint mark alone signals exclusivity. San Francisco struck far fewer coins than Philadelphia, and today, surviving examples in very nice condition are like diamonds hidden in plain sight. Add to that the naturally aged brown spots on this particular specimen, and what you get is a unique fingerprint of history, something that proves the coin is genuine, untouched, and a survivor of its time. Far from being a flaw, those spots enhance its authenticity, giving it character that no other coin can replicate. Now let's talk about demand. Whenever a 1936 S Mercury Dime in this condition appears at an auction, it's like a spark hitting dry tinder. The collectors rush in, bidding feverishly, knowing full well they might not see another one for years. These coins are not merely wanted, they are hunted. And only the most determined bidder walks away with this silver masterpiece. And here comes the jaw-dropping reveal. The current market value of this coin stands at an astounding $162,600. Yes, $162,600 for a dime that once bought a loaf of bread. This is no fiction, this is reality in today's auction market. And the truth is, its value isn't slowing down. Year after year, it edges higher, turning what was once small change into a monumental treasure. Owning this coin is like cradling a piece of American history that grows richer with every tick of the clock. For collectors, the message is crystal clear. If you ever come across a 1936 Mercury Dime with an S mint mark, treat it as you would a priceless artifact. Authenticate it, grade it, protect it, because this coin is not just silver, it's survival, it's history, and its wealth crystallized into one object. Next up, our journey now takes us all the way back to the dawn of the Roaring Twenties, a decade bursting with energy, ambition, and change. America was moving out of the shadow of World War I into a new age of jazz, technology, and bold dreams. And hidden within this remarkable year is a silver masterpiece so rare, so extraordinary, that it stands as one of the most valuable Mercury Dimes to ever exist, the 1920 Mercury Dime with the Denver D mint mark. The year 1920 was a turning point in U.S. history. Cities buzzed with automobiles, radios began spreading across households, and industries expanded faster than ever before. In Denver, far from the hustle of the East Coast, the U.S., Mint quietly struck a limited run of Mercury Dimes. Among them, the survival of this coin in very fine condition with its unique reverse side brown spot has elevated it into the realm of legendary treasures. The artistry of this coin remains just as breathtaking as the day it was minted. The obverse features liberty, adorned with wings of freedom, an enduring symbol of progress and creative thought. On the reverse, the fasces stand tall, representing unity and strength bound together with the olive branch of peace. It is no exaggeration to say that the Mercury Dime is one of the most artistic and meaningful coins America has ever created, and the 1920 D is among its rarest chapters. But here is what makes this particular coin stand apart. The Denver Mint mark already places it in a special category, since production numbers there were far smaller compared to Philadelphia. And to find one that has not only survived a full century, but has done so in very fine condition, is nothing short of miraculous. The brown spot on the reverse is not a flaw. It is a mark of authenticity, a natural testament that this coin has traveled through time untouched, carrying with it the whispers of every decade it has lived through. Collectors know exactly what this means. Coins like the 1920 D do not come around often. When one surfaces, it sends shockwaves through the numismatic world. Auction houses prepare for fierce battles, and bidders compete relentlessly, knowing full well that this treasure is more than just silver. It is wealth, history, and legacy combined. And now, the moment that leaves jaws dropping. The current market value of this coin today stands at a staggering $119,500. Yes, $190,500 for a single dime. This is not fiction. This is the faithful reality of today's auction market. And it's not just valuable, it's climbing higher every single year. The demand is unstoppable, the rarity undeniable, and the prestige unmatched. Owning this coin is like holding a fortune that continues to grow, a treasure chest locked inside a sliver of silver. So here's my advice for collectors. If you ever stumble across a 1920 Mercury Dime with a D mint mark, treat it as you would a priceless jewel. Have it authenticated, graded, and stored with absolute care. This coin is a golden ticket in disguise, a coin that doesn't just represent money, but power, prestige, and history. To conclude, coin number 5, the 1920 D Mercury Dime is more than a collectible. It is a century-old survivor, a symbol of America's roaring ambitions, and a treasure valued in the six figures today. It is living proof that within the smallest pieces of silver, entire fortunes can be hidden. And if you think this is breathtaking, wait until you see what's coming next. The treasures ahead are even more shocking, even more priceless, and even more legendary. Next up, the deeper we travel into the vault of America's rarest treasures, the more breathtaking the discoveries become. And now, with coin number 6, we step into the year 1927, a year when the nation was thriving in the rhythm of the roaring 20s. Jazz echoed in every corner, fashion was bold and daring, and innovation seemed endless. Yet amidst this glittering age, hidden far away on the West Coast, the San Francisco Mint quietly struck one of the most enchanting Mercury dimes ever produced, the 1927 Mercury dime with the S mint mark. The artistry of this coin is nothing short of stunning. On the obverse, Liberty, crowned with wings of freedom, reflects the forward-thinking energy of the decade, a perfect emblem for a nation racing toward modernity. On the reverse, the fasces bound by olive branches once again whispers the dual story of strength and peace. Every detail of Adolf Weinmann's masterpiece speaks to timeless beauty. And this particular 1927 specimen, with its beautiful look and very pretty condition, shines with a brilliance that makes collectors' hearts skip a beat. The S mint mark is more than just a letter. It tells a story of scarcity. San Francisco's output of Mercury Dimes in 1927 was limited compared to the colossal numbers from Philadelphia. Over the decades, most of those dimes fell victim to circulation, scratched, worn, or melted down. Today, finding one preserved in such pretty condition, with full details still intact, is like stumbling upon a lost jewel from the treasure chests of time. Collectors know that the 1927 S is not just another coin, it is a symbol of exclusivity. When this dime appears at auctions, it draws eyes instantly. Conversations stop. Bidders prepare. The atmosphere becomes electric because everyone in the room knows the truth. Coins of this rarity and condition do not surface every day, every year, or even every decade. And now, the moment that defines it all, the value. The current market price of the 1927 Mercury dime in this stunning condition is an incredible $183,000. Yes, $183,000 for a dime that once jingled in pockets during the flapper era. That's not an exaggeration, it is the faithful truth of today's auction market. And here's the treasure chest locked inside this story. The value is rising. Year by year, collectors chase harder, while surviving examples only grow scarcer. This coin is wealth in silver form, a fortune that keeps climbing higher as time marches forward. So what should a collector do if fortune ever places a 1927 Mercury dime in their hands? The answer is simple. Protect it with every ounce of care. Authenticate it. Grade it. Shield it as if it were the crown jewel of your collection. Because that is exactly what it is. This isn't just a collectible. It's a treasure that carries the story of a golden decade, the craftsmanship of an era, and the fortune of six figures in today's market. To conclude, coin number 6. The 1927 Mercury dime is more than just a coin. It is a dazzling survivor of history, a piece of art, and a financial treasure chest all rolled into one. It is a jewel forged in silver, destined to rise in value, and treasured by all who recognize its power. And the journey is far from over. The coins still to come will shake your very belief in what a simple dime can truly be worth. Next up, now we arrive at coin number 7, and here the story grows even deeper and more powerful. This time, we're stepping into the year 1926, when the country was still riding the wave of the roaring 20s. Prosperity filled the air, cities expanded, and modern life was taking shape. But hidden within this booming decade, tucked away in the San Francisco Mint, was struck one of the rarest and most captivating Mercury dimes of all, the 1926 Mercury dime with the S mint mark. At first glance, it might look like just another dime from history, but when you look closer, you see the truth. The artistry of Adolf Weinmann's design shines in every detail. On the obverse, Liberty, with her winged cap, represents freedom of thought and vision, an image that resonated with a nation looking ahead to the future. The reverse, with the fasces and olive branch, reminds us of the balance between strength and peace. It was a message perfectly suited to its time, and one that makes this coin more than silver. It makes it art. But what truly makes the 1926 Mercury dime so extraordinary is its rarity. San Francisco produced only a fraction of the dimes that Philadelphia did, and most of those went straight into circulation. Over the decades, they were worn down, lost, or destroyed. To find one surviving in very fine condition, with natural brown layers that tell the story of its long journey through history, is like discovering a hidden relic of the past. Those layers are not flaws, they are proof. Proof that this coin lived through the hands of generations and still stands today as a survivor of nearly a century. Collectors know exactly what this means. The 1926S is not just wanted, it is desperately hunted. Whenever it appears at auction, it ignites fierce bidding battles. Everyone knows the truth. There are only so many left, and time is making them even scarcer. To own one is to own a key that unlocks both history and fortune. And now, the breathtaking reveal. The current market value of this coin in very fine condition stands at an unbelievable $181,000. Yes, $181,000 for a single dime. That is not hype, not fantasy, but the faithful reality of today's auction market. And the truth is even more thrilling. The value keeps rising. With every year that passes, collectors chase harder and prices climb higher. Owning this coin is like holding a treasure chest that grows heavier with gold every single day. For collectors, my advice is crystal clear. If you ever come across a 1926S Mercury dime, do not hesitate. Authenticate it. Grade it. Protect it like your most prized possession. Because this coin is not just silver, it is a crown jewel, a six-figure treasure, and a living piece of America's roaring 20s. To conclude coin number 7, the 1926S Mercury dime is a perfect storm of beauty, rarity, history, and value. It's not just a collectible, it's a masterpiece. A treasure that proves once again that within the smallest silver coins lies the power to hold enormous fortunes. And the truth is, our treasure hunt is still not over. The coins ahead will leave you even more shocked, even more amazed, and even more convinced that Mercury dimes are treasures beyond imagination. Next up, our treasure hunt now takes us to the year 1923, a year when the world was shifting, rebuilding, and looking forward to a future full of possibilities. America had stepped beyond the shadows of the First World War. Industries were booming, and life was being reshaped by progress. Yet in the quiet heart of the Philadelphia Mint, without a mint mark to identify it, was struck a coin that would one day stand among the giants of numismatic treasures, the 1923 Mercury dime without a mint mark. At first glance, it's a coin of delicate beauty. On the obverse, the radiant Liberty, with her winged cap, represents free thought, vision, and progress, a perfect reflection of a nation marching boldly into modern times. On the reverse, the fasces bound with olive branches remains one of the most powerful designs in U.S. coinage, balancing strength with peace, determination with harmony. Adolf Weinmann's artistry is alive in every stroke of silver. But what makes this coin so extraordinary is not only its history, but its survival. The vast majority of Mercury dimes lived short, hard lives in circulation. They passed through markets, stores, and hands, wearing down year after year until most lost their fine details. Yet here, in coin number 8, we are not talking about a circulated survivor. We are talking about something breathtaking, an example preserved in uncirculated condition. That is the dream every collector longs for. A coin that looks today almost as fresh as the moment it left the press more than a century ago. The absence of a mint mark tells us it came from Philadelphia, but it's the pristine condition that makes this coin explode with value. To hold an uncirculated 1923 Mercury dime is to hold time itself, frozen and untouched. Every detail of Liberty's face, every line of the facets, every texture of the olive branch, sharp, crisp, and flawless. It's the kind of coin that makes collectors' hearts race the instant they see it. And here is where the suspense boils over. When a coin like this enters the auction market, it doesn't whisper, it roars. Collectors recognize immediately that this is not an everyday find. It is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And when the bidding starts, it climbs like a rocket, because everyone knows the truth. Treasures like this simply do not come around often. The current market value of this 1923 no-mint Mercury dime in uncirculated condition stands at an awe-inspiring $184,500. Yes, $184,500 for a single dime that was once worth 10 cents. And the faithful truth is this: its value isn't stopping here. Each year, as demand grows and supply shrinks, this coin's price surges higher, turning it into a silver time capsule of wealth. Owning this dime is like owning a piece of eternity, a fortune sealed in history. For collectors, my advice couldn't be stronger. If you ever encounter a 1923 Mercury dime in uncirculated condition, act immediately. Authenticate it, grade it, protect it as if it were a jewel passed down through royalty. Because this coin is more than rare, it is iconic. It is a centerpiece that could define an entire collection and secure a legacy of wealth. So to conclude, coin number 8, the 1923 Mercury dime without a mint mark is a numismatic miracle. A survivor untouched by time, a silver masterpiece worth nearly $200,000, and a treasure that continues to climb in value. And here's the most thrilling part: our journey is still not over. The final coins waiting ahead will leave you even more shocked, even more amazed, and absolutely convinced that Mercury dimes are treasures beyond imagination. Next up, as our treasure hunt continues, we arrive in the year 1930, a time in American history filled with uncertainty and transition. The Roaring Twenties had dazzled the nation, but the storm clouds of the Great Depression were gathering. Every coin struck in that period carried with it the weight of a society balancing between prosperity and hardship. And hidden in the flow of commerce, born in the Philadelphia Mint with no mint mark, was a Mercury dime destined to become one of the rarest treasures collectors could ever dream of. The 1930 Mercury dime in uncirculated condition. Take one look at this coin, and you will understand why collectors lose sleep thinking about it. The obverse still glows with Adolph Weinman's timeless design, Lady Liberty crowned with a winged cap, symbolizing freedom of thought, wisdom, and forward motion. On the reverse, the facets bound tightly with olive branches reminds us of a nation's strength tempered by peace. This artistry alone makes the Mercury dime a masterpiece, but when you encounter it in uncirculated condition, the experience is nothing short of breathtaking. Imagine it. Nearly a century has passed since this coin was minted, yet its surfaces remain as crisp and sharp as the day they were struck. The delicate brown waves of toning ripple across the silver like whispers of time, not diminishing its beauty, but adding layers of depth, personality, and proof of its authenticity. Every line in Liberty's hair, every feathered detail of the wings, every bundle of the facets, all remain untouched by circulation. It is like peering through a window into 1930 itself, preserved in flawless silver. What makes this coin so powerful is its rarity. Most Mercury dimes were spent, handled, rubbed down until their designs softened beyond recognition. Very few escaped that fate, and fewer still survived untouched, unspent, and preserved in the vault-like safety needed to remain uncirculated. That's why the 1930 no-mint dime in this condition is not just rare, it's extraordinary. Collectors recognize immediately that this is not a common find, but a treasure, a prize worthy of the highest bidding wars. And the value? Brace yourself, because this is where the truth stuns even the most experienced collectors. The current market value of the 1930 no-mint Mercury dime in uncirculated condition is a staggering $179,000. Yes, $179,000 for a single dime that most people would overlook in pocket change. And this isn't fantasy, this is fact. The market for rare Mercury dimes is surging, and this coin is climbing higher and higher in value with each passing year. This is not just a collectible. It's a treasure chest condensed into silver, a fortune locked in the palm of your hand. For collectors watching this, here is the golden advice. If you ever see a 1930 Mercury dime without a mint mark that even hints at uncirculated preservation, treat it as if you've discovered a hidden relic of royalty. Have it authenticated, graded, and sealed. Protect it with your life, because its demand is skyrocketing and its supply is vanishingly rare. This is not just a coin, it's a passport to prestige, wealth, and eternal respect in the numismatic world. So as we close the chapter on coin number 9, remember this: the 1930 Mercury dime, without a mint mark, is more than a rare coin. It's living proof that history itself can turn into treasure. An uncirculated survivor, kissed by time but untouched by hands, worth nearly $200,000 and growing. And the journey isn't done yet. The next coin in this lineup is waiting to leave you even more breathless than before. Stay with me, because the true climax is still ahead. Next up. And here we are, treasure hunters, at the climax of our countdown. We've seen rare masterpieces. We've uncovered silver secrets. But now, brace yourself for a coin that captures the very heart of America's spirit in the early 1940s. The 1941 Mercury dime without a mint mark. The year 1941 is etched deeply into history. The United States stood at the edge of transformation, the world itself on the brink of war. Yet, in Philadelphia, the mint continued its quiet work, striking coins that would pass through millions of hands, carry countless stories, and reflect the resilience of a nation. But among the countless Mercury dimes minted that year, only a select few would survive in a form so rare, so pristine, and so breathtaking that they would one day astonish collectors across the globe. And one of those survivors is right here. The 1941 Mercury dime, without a mint mark, preserved in very good condition, but radiating a beauty that feels timeless. Look closely, and you see Lady Liberty wearing her winged cap, symbolizing freedom of thought and the boundless pursuit of progress. The reverse gleams with its facets wrapped in olive branches, balancing strength with peace, a message that feels even more powerful given the turbulent years that followed. But what elevates this coin into legend is not only its design, but its rarity. Most 1941 Mercury dimes were spent into oblivion. They were the workhorses of a generation, clinking in pockets, sliding across counters, worn smooth in circulation. To find one today in such striking, well-preserved condition is like finding a time capsule hidden in plain sight. It whispers of survival, of resilience, and of a journey across decades that left it almost untouched by the erosion of history. And this is where the story turns into treasure. When such a coin appears at auction, the market does not hesitate. Collectors recognize instantly that this is no ordinary Mercury dime. This is a key piece, a shining example of scarcity meeting demand. And when the bidding begins, the numbers climb to dizzying heights, because they are not just buying silver, they are buying history sealed in beauty. The current market value of the 1941 no-mint Mercury dime, in very good condition, is an astonishing $173,800. Let that number settle in. $173,800 for a dime struck in the early years of World War II. And this is not the end. This coin's value is rising steadily, its demand only growing stronger, its future brighter with every passing year. Owning one is not just collecting, it is securing a fortune, a treasure chest condensed into silver. For collectors, here's my guidance. If you ever encounter a 1941 Mercury dime without a mint mark in a preserved state, seize the moment. Verify it, grade it, and guard it as though it were a royal jewel. Because the truth is simple. This coin is not just money, it's history, wealth, and legacy fused into one. And so, as we close this incredible journey of the top 10 ultra-rare and most valuable Mercury dimes, remember this. Each of these coins proves that true treasures hide in plain sight. A simple dime can hold the power of a fortune. A small silver disc can carry the story of a nation, a century, and a collector's ultimate dream. My friends, this is not fiction. These are the treasures waiting in the world of numismatics. This is why my channel, True Coin Value, exists, to bring you the truth, the updates, the faithful revelations of coins that can change your life. Stay with me, because every day brings new discoveries, new treasures, and new opportunities to uncover wealth hidden in plain sight. The story of Mercury Dimes may end here for now, but the treasure hunt never stops.